artificially produced, dyed, and most of it arrives in folded trade, secondhand clothing exported from the global north and maybe worn once or twice. And that isn't just waste. It's actually overflow, and the damage doesn't stop there. You talk about emissions. The fashion industry now accounts for 10% of carbon emissions. If you talk about water, wastewater, 20% of the world's wastewater comes from dyeing and finishing of the textiles that go into these fast fashion items. And then there's a human cost because most of the factories that have to make these clothes and churn them out that quickly are on the backs of women and children who make less than $2 US a day. And you might say, well, that's crazy. So let's call it what it is. Are you really wearing exploitation as well and often passing it off as style? Now, while France takes the lead, they're not alone. You have the UK that has now a textiles tracker to look at recyclability. You have the EU that's demanding that big fashion brands disclose their supply chains. In the US, you have cities like Los Angeles and New York who are banning single-use plastics in fashion packages. You have, over 60 brands in India that are collaborated on sheer textile recycling hubs. And here in Jamaica, yeah, the tide is turning. And I want to talk about that a little bit. But before I
Yes. Cheap clothes. Those cheap clothes are ruining the environment.
into this world will let yeah that's something each and every one of us can do, and we if everybody did that, if everybody just exercised their full small
oh
power,
yeah, the butterfly effect. That
it would be, you know, we think so much about big change, big everything's got to be big and huge, and most of us don't have the platform
Yeah.
to make big things happen. But I've seen how big power can't do a lot. You know, the president of the United States.
Yes, basically. We can all do little things to help our place in this world.
I wanted to do a podcast, have a conversation about the Hoffman process and the Hoffman Institute because I kept hearing and continue to keep hearing about people who've done Hoffman and what Hoffman did for them. I wanted to know what, first of all, what is Hoffman? Where do you go to do it? What is it? What does it do for you? And apparently, it is a 7-day treatment program that you go through to release all of the gunk from your past and release any demons or bad feelings you have about being raised by your parents, and to begin to step into the wholeness of yourself. So we're talking to the man who founded all of that, the Hoffman process in the Hoffman Institute. That's what I wanted to do. Everybody's talking about Hoffman. I wanted to do a podcast.
Yeah, I might. I wouldn't mind. That would a little bit of help ain't wouldn't mind. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of
This is the
advice.
foundational principle that rules my life. The principle of intention. I believe that the principle of intention, which is aligned with cause and effect, is one of the greatest spiritual principles guiding the forces of our planet. And it is behind every decision in my life now, intention. When I truly got this, everything changed for me. This is the foundational principle that rules my life. The principle of intention. I believe that the principle of intention, which is aligned with
Principle of intention. Principle of intention. Refers to intent, outcome, or purpose being on action can be crucial factor in determining the moral or legal status of that action. In other words, why behind what someone does can be as important as even more important than the what of their actions. Let's see. In some legal systems, the intention being a crime is the key element in determining guilt and the severity of punishment. For example, premeditated premeditated murder is treated differently from manslaughter. Even if the outcome is death, it is the same because of the difference is the perpetrator's intent. Interesting. Ethics, moral responsibility, ethical framework suggests moral. Okay, interesting. Principal intention also has implications for self help and personal development. Setting clear intentions can be a powerful tool for achieving goals and creating positive change in one's life, according to some of self help resources. Interesting. Moral or legal status of action. In other words, why behind what someone does can be as important as even more important than what their actions.